Alright, what's up everybody? Hello. As I slowly fade out Cammy's awesome theme from Super Street Fighter 2. You know, people say Guile's theme goes with everything. It does, it goes with a lot of things, but you know what? I think Cammy's theme is so much more epic. And just like lyrically and composition and scope. I really think it's a heck of a lot better in my opinion. And I have very strong opinions about that, about music. But basically, the goal for tonight, I'm taking a one-night break from Metal Gear Solid 4. I will be playing it again tomorrow, of course, have no fear, which I don't think anybody has any fear about that. But I will be returning to Metal Gear Solid 4, and but for tonight, I'm just going to be playing some PlayStation 1 games. Specifically, games that are not that great. Fighting games that aren't too excellent. So give me a second here. I'm going to turn on RetroArch. There we go. It's not the right window size, but that's okay. It's going to change momentarily. And let's see. Controller's working. Very good. Let's start off with not the best games. But, I mean, some of them are good, but the majority of them are probably going to be not the best. Actually, let's save Sailor Moon for a little bit later. Let's play X-Men vs. Street Fighter, the EX edition. And I have not tested this, so I don't know how well it's going to work. And I'm using RetroArch, so your mileage may vary on how well it looks. Trying to enlarge the window just a little bit for myself, so that means I probably screwed it up. Yep, I screwed up for stream, so let me resize that real fast. And then center. Now this game is kind of, sort of famous for not being the best. The best by far, in a way, is... Let me adjust a little further. Nope, okay, so it was fine the way it was. My bad. Unfortunately, with RetroArch, let me screw with this even more. Let's just pause toggle. Window scale 3x. We'll just stick with the 3x. Hopefully I didn't crash it right now. Oh yeah, it don't look right. Let's restart it real quick. Yeah, so this version is not the best of all. The best home port for this was the Sega Saturn, which unfortunately, that version did not get released in the United States, which is such a shame. I mean, the Saturn was on its way out here in the States, so not really too surprising. But, I mean, it was such a shame. I mean, when I got this game, when I got X-Men vs. Street Fighter on my Sega Saturn, when I got my Sega Saturn itself, it just floored me away. It blew me away completely. My brother and I had been playing the arcade version for months since it had been released. And we basically get out of school, and I was driving at the time. And we just go over to the arcade and play the game, play X-Men vs. Street Fighter, spend like about $1 or $2, go home, and we do it like about a couple times a week. So I got a Sega Saturn for Christmas of 1998, and I got it on clearance. I mean, my parents got the whole thing, like Sega Saturn, Virtua Fighter 2, Daytona USA, Virtual Cop, X-Men vs. Street Fighter with the 4MB RAM card, Samurai Showdown 3 and 4 collection, and Deep Fear for $120, along with the Sega Saturn Fight Stick, the Virtua Stick, for $120. It was a steal of a deal, because the store was just like, here, you want to buy it, get rid of it, go. So all of a sudden, we had this arcade-perfect version in our house. There was no reason to go to the arcade. There was like almost no load times. And then you look at this right now, you can see it's just missing frames galore nonstop. The biggest thing about the PlayStation version that everyone kind of goes, ooh, X-Men vs. Street Fighter is terrible. They played this version of the game. pardon me. And this version, the PlayStation did not have enough RAM at all to support the tag feature, so a lot of times the tag was removed. So shortcut off. Okay, so it is reading it. Even the sound is wrong. Alright, let's hit training mode real fast, just to see what this is like. Because EX, I think, had a version where you could do tag, but you both had to pick the same type of character. I'm not sure exactly how they worked around it. But this is the version Japan got. Let's see, Akuma should be... yeah, he's up there still. Oh my god, all the missing frames for Wolverine. That is frightening. Yeah, Juggernaut isn't even animated. Magneto's hands aren't floating around. Wow, this is just... it's bad. Sabretooth's got like 4 frames of animation. Wow, the loading. Okay, it's just for 3 characters. See, what is... I don't remember his drill claw. Not key config. There's no... Continue. Here we go. So normally what would happen is you'd be able to change out your character by hitting both the hard punch and hard kick together. That does not happen. So how do you change your player then? Let's say Juggernaut, he's nice and big.
Let's go, bub. Ready. Fight!
I am just stunned with the lack of animation, because I'm just so used to the Sega Saturn version that I have of this game. This is shocking to me. Okay, so that's still there. So I'm guessing that the other person only comes in for, like, the level 3 super? I guess. Wow, this is quite different. Alright, let's get into an actual arcade match. Japanese game, gotta remember the circle is what kills it. Circle is confirm, X is like circle is true, like, or yes, X in Japan is no or false. So Japanese games, circle a lot of times is your confirm, like, yes, I want to do this motion or button.
This is X-Men versus Street Fighter.
So battle mode, I guess. Go with Wolverine, and I'll pick Gambit as my backup.
Let's go, bub. Round 1, fight!
And this game has rounds instead of just one big long match, because originally it would be, you would have, like, just basically you knock out one character, the next comes in, and then you just keep going and through your match. But of course that doesn't happen because you can't tag. Tagging is not a thing here anymore. Really? Can't OTG on that, huh? So I wonder if the ground will still break on this or not, because the ground is supposed to be able to give way, and you'll go right into the sewers. Can't get that to link for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't think the ground... Okay, the ground does break still. Okay, that's good. Does it auto-correct? No, it does not. Okay. See, can you still hit start? Yep, so you can hit start and still screw around. A loading screen for the victory screen, or does it skip it entirely? Let's see. No! Oh my god. This feels like playing a Neo Geo CD game almost, which just loads for everything non-stop. I need to time that next time. It felt like 18 seconds. Okay, can still push block, that's good. I thought my kick would take him out. Nope. Got him. Yeah. So I wonder if it gives me better positioning. Yeah, it does. Cool. Oh my gosh, this is so horrendous. This is something that you hear about, but until you experience it yourself, especially if you've played either the arcade ROM or Sega Saturn. Oh, crap. You just... Why? No! Dude, really? You say, why didn't that connect? Really? He knocked Gambit out of it. That's surprising. That threw me off. This is so weird with the rounds. Now I kind of want to stream the Sega Saturn version. Alright, so I need to pay attention to see how long it takes to load. When it says now loading is when I'm going to start counting. "14 seconds. Holy crap. Except for the life of me, I can't remember how to do his drill claw. Ouch. Music isn't too bad, honestly. Push him more into the corner.
Round 2,
That's right, alpha counters in this game. Colin, like, because there's alpha counters for some reason, which I don't believe that there were. I don't remember them happening in the other game. But, there's something in this game. Let's see. Okay, so still no button, no move list. Why didn't it pursue? Wish you could delay that. That would be so much nicer. Love that one. That is like his most powerful super move. Which you do is just basically, it's a dragon punch motion with 3 punches. Best way to pause it. Got the Voldo stance going. Oh my god, 2-frame animation for Juggernaut? Oof. Now, little known thing on the Sega Saturn version of this game, once you beat the game once... yeah, good to be redundant. Once you beat the game once, you can actually select the same character again. So my brother and I, like, we'd have 4-player Juggernaut matches where we both have Juggernaut on our team, and that gets pretty wild.
Round one, fight!
Holy crap, that does a lot of damage. Wow, Gambit got like no hits in it on that. Oh, good counter. He's got armor on that? Oh no, I'm dead. I didn't know he had armor on that move. That kind of surprised me.
Round two, fight!
Try to lame him out. And fail miserably. Why isn't like Gambit's hits hitting? I mean, it's only 2 of them. So I guess Gambit's only good in the corner in this version? Could not jump out of the way. I should be dead again. That's alright. Switch up games anyway. No big loss.
Game over.
Hate games that have numbers and symbols. Pointless. Just take up time, because usually on a hard timer to input your information, so. You see some that have like numbers, and then you have like heart symbols and question marks, all sorts of other crap. Alright, so let's switch up games. Ah, yes, War Gods. We might as well get to this right now. I played War Gods when this came out on the Nintendo 64. I rented it. And I remember it being subpar at best. And I have not touched it since in the 21 years since it was released.
Midway presents War Gods.
Alright, let's see what we got for options.
You shall die. You shall die. You shall die.
So L1 would be 3D. I have no idea what the heck this is for... Can I change this? Let's see. Block. Low kick. Okay, so that's it there. Alright, we'll figure it out. I'm using an Xbox 360 controller. I'm using a fight stick, so... Change the amount of continues. Don't plan on using them all. I don't plan on playing this very long either, so... Per me. I just remember there was like an Egyptian guy in here. There we go, Anubis. Pagan. Nope. Gotta pick somebody who looks like some kind of skanky prostitute.
Round 1, begin.
Okay, so that's my dodge, 3D dodge. We have... Okay, special moves, I don't know how I did. I just like crotch thrust at him? Nope, okay. Okay, I have no idea how those fireballs are coming out.
Pagan wins. Round 2, begin.
I'm thinking I should hang out with more pagans. So it's like Mortal Kombat, kind of, just not fun. Okay. So if you hit a direction and 3D, it doesn't seem to work. Ah, okay. My buttons are... Now I figured them out. So, like, why am I kicking where punches are?
Pagan wins.
So what's the story behind this game? No idea. It brings up the question, do fighting games need a storyline? You get people like Midway, or they're not Midway anymore, but people who do Mortal Kombat NetherRealm, they do really good story mode, but is it really needed? The Scooby-Doo sound effects.
Pagan wins.
I have to admit I'm doing a little bit better than I thought I would, so that's kind of surprising. Just since I'm not good at Mortal Kombat style games, so... And as I say that, of course, is right when I start getting my butt kicked. Moves seem wildly inconsistent if they come out or not.
Pagan.
It seems like the moves change every single button you press. Sometimes, like, I swear, like, I just did the uppercut and that came out a kick. Or a low punch instead. And once again, let me know if any type of audio adjustments need to be made to the game. Always appreciated. Haven't asked for that yet, but let me know if anything needs to be moved around, lowered, up, whatever.
Round one, begin.
Everyone seems to have like a weird grab move.
Fightin wins. Round two, begin.
Like the 3D movement tries to do it sometimes. Wow.
Fightin wins. Continue.
Does it bring me back to change my character? Yes. Sci-Fi, Kabiku, Kabuki Joe, Warhead.
Warhead, you are chosen.
Discount Toxic Avenger. Okay. Why not?
Round one, begin.
Oh my god, I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out Warzone. Or War Gods, I should say. That was Killing Zone on PlayStation 1? I don't think I have it. If it is, I can download it. Also, what's up, X?
Fightin wins. Round two, begin.
Oh my god, the moves in this game were so freaking terrible. Oh, really? Sweet. Download that in a minute. I mean, legally purchase it through a 100% reputable site. Well, I remember, like, for a Sega Saturn at least, there was Golden Axe. I have that, the duel, which is terrible. Alright, so let me fire that up real quick. Not the Golden Axe, the duel, but... It's a Killing Zone.
Continue.
Killing Zone, here we go.
Game over.
Let's see what else I got. That's what it looked like for a second. I saw a picture of Frankenstein. I'm like, really? I think this is the fighting game. I actually have Battle Monsters. I think I do. Let me take a look. Yeah, I have Battle Monsters on the Sega Saturn. Cracks me up that they made a kind of pseudo sequel to it. Now, full disclosure, I do love Sailor Moon. I have a full, complete English and Japanese versions of the show. All 196 episodes, at least in Japan. Like 191 in the US. But the fighting games tend to not be good. For me. Isn't that like Zero Divide? Isn't that like a robots or something? It's been a while. It sounds familiar. Kind of like almost like a Rise of the Robots style looking game. But just not being Rise of the Robots because that's just reprehensible and pretty sure The Hague has ruled it a crime against humanity. Now loading, you were just playing a full FMV, you could have loaded behind that. Alright, let's see. Oh goody. So I know the middle is... No, it's not that. Let's exit. This should be, I think, load? Not sure. Could be different options. Oh, it's sound. Okay. My Japanese reading skills are very subpar. Okay, 60 rounds. Okay, let's see what we got. So, 4-button game. Did they write this vertically? No, they didn't. I was like, holy crap. Why? So this is punch. This should be, I think, other... No, this is a kick. This is... harder and lighter. Okay, so it's a 4-button fighter. Light and hard kicks. Punches. Yeah. Well, not really too obscure, just kind of like janky fighters. But yeah, the Sailor Moon games, like I said, I love Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon Crystal, I really like. But, yeah, it's... Their games tend to not be too great. Especially the fighting games. Puzzle games are... I mean, Super Nintendo games had really good ones. Usagi, which is Japanese for rabbit. Chibiusa. Let's go with Best Girl Mars. I don't care. If you say Mercury, I'm slapping you. And it just starts playing burlesque music. Okay. I have no idea what any of this is. Customize system, by the way. Not customize, customize. Oh man, I thought of a... I'll have to download it, but I thought of a game. And I own it. Oh boy, do I ever own it. Download the American version that came out. Well, it came out in... No, they don't have the American version. I'll do Japan anyway. Oh, okay, so this game, I've seen this on the 3DO before. Yeah, so this is... Okay, I have no music, it's just... There we go. But yeah, I've seen this on the 3DO, and it plays just as poorly. I love the music just keeps cutting out, too. It's probably an emulation error, I'd like to think. This is better than the actual game. Your attacks take so long to do anything, oh my god. Now, there was a fighting game on the Super Nintendo which was not too bad. It actually gets played as kind of like a meme game in fighting game communities.
Round 1.
What do you mean round one? That was round one. I'd say this is unintentionally funny. I love it. So I think I have this actually downloaded for the 3DO. Because I wanted to buy an actual copy for the 3DO, but it was stupidly expensive. We're looking like, last I checked, like over $100. I have no idea what the PlayStation version goes for, but hopefully not too much, because this game is not worth any price you're asking for. It's like the moves are highly sporadic. Certain times, like, you'll hit a button, nothing happens, you'll hit it again, then something comes out. It's bad. But it's funny. So I think I have another dump of this. Let's try the other one. Maybe the music works better for that. As hilarious as it is with this one not working quite right. Let's see. Shoujo. No, it didn't pick it up. Okay, so that's the only one there. Okay, let's see. Where's the other game? Killing Zone. There we go. Those in here. Yeah, that's gotta go in its own folder. Hate it when you download, I mean, legally purchase a game for the PlayStation, and someone just puts in like 25 bins instead of just making it a straight ISO. It's like, why did you do that? Just make a straight ISO file out of these, and so you can just extract it and be done with it. Extract here. Okay, that's fine. I can extract that as it is. I'm working on stuff. I'll be back in just a second. Sorry, it's taking a minute. And extract. Here. Okay. So I have 3 other games extracting right now. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It's like just making it into an ISO, because I've actually done that before, like when I did, yeah, it's ISO Buster Works. There we go. It's taking forever just to load. So that's not an FMB, that's actually in-game for the demos. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I've had to crack stuff like that before, like when I played Die Hard, the arcade, or whatever it was. Die Hard Trilogy, that's what it was. I played that about a month or 2 ago. I had to redump that into an ISO, just recreate it, because it was like 30 different files. Yes, I mounted it, figured out which one it was, mounted it, and then just dumped it into an ISO myself. It's like, okay, let's just do it this way. Yeah, so ability customize system. English. Keep your mood, your victory is not assured, along those lines, basically. Your victory is not guaranteed along that. I didn't hear it all the way, so... Oh my god, the loading. Loading. So, Chibiusa is 2 feet tall. We're talking her Buliche. This is ridiculous. I am literally like 18 inches tall. Oh my god, Jupiter, shut up. We can't hit each other, this is horrible. I do find it interesting that this is a Japanese only release and they do have their names in English. Toddler tossing, you should be ashamed, Jupiter. Yeah, I have a feeling that she's probably been banned from working in several daycares. She's been the subject of many Dateline NBC investigations. Okay, enough of that nonsense. Alright, so I need to go over to the long way. Load content. Games. Emulation. PlayStation. ISO. Alright. Zero Divide, let's give that a go. If you don't like it, blame Executioner. Personally, I have never played this one, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. Okay, so guard, punch, kick. Oh, that's kind of weird. So 2 guards on top, and then punch and kick down below. There we go. That makes a little more sense. Yep, 3-button fighter. Had to stop and think, like, it's weird because they have like 2 blocks on top and then it goes down below. I'm playing on a fight stick, so it got really weird. I was like trying to figure out in my head real fast which way it needs to go. So,
Welcome to the XCOM Tower.
Giant rabbit.
I am XCOM. You must now defeat all 8 units in order to find me. I'll be watching and waiting for you. Good luck.
Oh, it sounds like this is gonna be great already.
Get set, ready, go!
Against the scorpion, whatever. It's like I can't tell if it's knocked down or not.
Ooh, that really hurt. Oh my god, what power!
Really? Okay, so you can grab on. Kind of reminds me of what was a Nintendo 64 game, Fighter's Destiny. I like that game actually a lot.
Ready, go!
It was kind of neat. It used like points on the system. You fight on a platform, but you could knock each other off. But you could also grab onto it, and if somebody came close to try to knock you over, you could actually like throw them at that point, like drag them off. So it's kind of cool.
KO! You win!
It's not too bad of a game. Keep in mind, I say that now, but
Get set, ready, go!
what am I looking at? Okay, so it looks like there's a damage to specific limbs.
KO!
You are so slow to get up or roll.
Get set, ready, go! Great counter! Great counter!
So there's like an option to use like, you know, hit like multiple buttons at once, but at least this character doesn't seem to do anything. Like if you hit all the buttons at once, it only seems to be like one throw.
Get set, ready,
Oh no, I hate games when they do this. They lock you into playing as one character.
great counter! Hey, great performance!
Great performance! Human controlling robots.
Oh my god!
Why did the last kick not connect?
Great counter! KO! Get set, ready, go! Great counter! Great counter!
It's like no air juggles that I can tell at least.
Combination.
So he knocks you down, you cannot get up or roll out of the way. It's like I'm hitting,
Counter.
you know, tapping up and down, trying to get out of the way. You're just stuck.
Superb combination. KO. You win. Get set, ready, go.
Yeah, so like first level wasn't too bad, but like I can definitely see the jank here now. I'm playing against harder opponents.
Combination. Ooh, that really hurt.
Ooh, that really hurt. Give me 1 second. I need to grab more pain pills for my back. It's gonna be like 20-30 seconds, so just hang tight real fast. Be right back. Alright, thanks for waiting. This is a music video from a Japanese band called Geeks, and I love them to death, but not everybody likes Japanese music, so I just muted the video at least. But love the song too, but like I said, not everybody likes their type of music. But this video is kind of interesting because it's just nothing but Super Famicom, or not Super, but just Famicom clips. You're part of the song. Alright, well, back to the game. Scene. There we go. Pardon me. Geeks, and is the band's name Geeks? Like you're a geek for liking video games. Which everybody here is. And the song is called Journeyman. It's on YouTube! Alright, back to the terrible fighting.
You win. Get set, ready, go!
It's like Mantis style?
Great counter!
Or wannabe Mantis style?
Great counter!
It's like Cat Mantis.
Superb combination! KO! You win! Get set, ready, go!
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, it's been, oh gosh, literally about 23, 24 years since Toshinden came out. And I have Ura Toshinden, which is the Sega Saturn version, like the remix, I think it was, like the updated version. But it's coming out of the PlayStation Classic, Ura Toshinden, but I remember the game not being that good when it came out. And I have no idea if it'd be considered a jank game or not. I just remember people are not impressed that it's coming out.
KO!
Yeah, PlayStation Classic, don't get me started on it. It's literally the same core I'm not playing with right now, but it is in RetroArch. Well, let's go against Fake Godzilla, Fraudzilla. PCSX Rearmed is the core.
Get set, ready, go!
And the PlayStation Classic doesn't even have like any type of enhancements at all, like no scan lines, no resolution increase, nothing. It's like you can get so much more just even using RetroArch like I'm using right now.
Performance. KO! You win! Get set, ready, go! Great counter! Ooh, that really hurt!
I love this announcer. I think the announcer is the best part. This is Hollywood? Why is there 2 Hollywood signs? California of the future. We can't put out our wildfires, but we do have 2 Hollywood signs, and I call that progress. Always cracks me up though. People are like, oh my god, I can't believe California's on fire. It's like, I lived in California for 2 years. So it's a little over 1, I should say. And California being on fire is not a surprise. You can mark your calendar for when that happens. Same thing for mudslide season. It's like, if you live in California, you know there's going to be wildfires every year. No, that's not right. It's not a looped horizon. It's obviously they spent extra money for multiple Hollywood signs and extra mountains in the middle of the jungle of LA. California, I really liked. I thought it was really beautiful. I loved the weather, even though I'm not really a hot weather type person. But it's just so freaking expensive, and the people are literally mostly insane. Especially the further south you go. I was more of a NorCal person because of the Air Force Base. I was closer to Sacramento. But I loved taking trips down to San Francisco. That was a lot of fun. Alright, so let's pick a different game. I'm going to pick the game. Let's bless the ring, shall we? Actually, I played this in the arcade. Yeah, so this right now, the PlayStation, the PCS X rearmed, this is exactly what is in the PlayStation Classic. So, yeah, it's not cool. Yeah, I played this, gosh, where was I? Six Flags in St. Louis. I was there for a school trip. And I found they had an arcade, so I spent a couple of time there before I met a girl, and we ran around all day and started dating afterwards, which is a bittersweet memory, but yeah, they had guys. I was like, what in the world is this? And why is Cloud in this game? He was in the arcade version too. It was kind of weird, and then the PlayStation version came out. I'm like, okay, cool. I remember playing this in the arcade. It's still not good. Let the intro rock out a little bit. Oh, but he likes the kitties. Oh, that log jumping scene was like right out of Project Keiko. If you've never seen Project Keiko, oh my god, it is my top favorite anime. One of my top 5, none the least. Yes, there is a Sonic game. It's called Sonic the Fighters. And it came out in the arcades. And it's since been ported to multiple home systems as well. Yeah, so what made it... Oh god, I forgot what the menu sounds. So there's a weird quest mode. It's like an RPG. You run around like 3/4 view, exploring different castles and fighting bad guys. It's really kind of odd. It's kind of like how you'd have random mode, like I'm trying to think of different games that did it, like Tekken, with the Tekken Force. So they were trying to experiment and do different things with video games in the late 90s. Interesting, it just threw me into it instantly. Okay. So you got God Hand, Yishwin, Sasuke, Mitsudoza, Yoko, Yo-Yo Yoko, Joe, Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth, Dan. Yeah, let's go with Cloud. Oh, geez. 116 gigabytes? It's insane. I guess people don't compress things anymore. Yeah, so you have like 3D movement, run around. Got a kick, I got a punch. Got a sword button. Sometimes. Just gonna cheese my way to victory. You bet, man. Don't you know I got a sword? Completely legal in a fighting... That's alright. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Guys. So why am I holding up some broken sword? I don't know. Yeah, that's the downside of games these days. You have to download patches in order to play it. This turned into bloody war all of a sudden, but but I mean, long gone are the days of when you could just buy a game and play it. So I played this in the arcade of all places, so I was familiar with it. I knew what I was getting into when I saw the PlayStation version had been released. My friends had no clue, so they came over to my place. I was like, check this out. I'm like, oh my god, Cloud? Is it a fighting game? Yeah, that's the least of the problems. Okay, so I got jump and a crouch. I think that might be block, I'm not sure. Okay, so it's a block. And a very inconvenient place on a fight stick. Well, I would say still collect modern games, but going digital, for me, I'm not a fan of. Where you have digital-only games, because you are limited to how long the servers are up. In the case of, like, Konami, if they pull things like PT, where it makes it harder for you to download it, except for through really convoluted means. Then you have online-only games like Destiny. You have to play that. As soon as the servers come down for that, I can never play my copy of Destiny again for PlayStation 4. Those are the things I'm against. For me, I don't mind physical collecting, but you get like patches and things like that, it does get pretty crazy. Also, what's up, Saturn? Good to see you. True. I mean, it does become outdated. Oh, that's a powerful noogie. So I think this game lets you change your character, I hope. I think. Nope. Another game that's gonna annoy me. Come up here. Exactly. I mean, you know, and that's when the servers are gone, they're gone for good. Like, I ran into that problem wanting to do the Hurricane Pack for Ninja Gaiden Black on the Xbox. Because those Xbox Live servers for the original Xbox are down. You cannot get that game back, that version of it. So there exists a really convoluted way to download just Hurricane Packs, but I mean, you got to have a modded Xbox, which I do have thanks to the awesomeness that is Executioner. He sold me one at a very, very good, price for me at the time, which I do appreciate. But you need to have like a modified Xbox, and you gotta download the files. You gotta set up a home FTP server, FTP server, and go through all sorts of like crazy methods just to get something that used to be just like, okay, connect online, go, So that is a problem. It's how games now are. For me, I'm not a fan also of, for modern gaming, like how big everything is. Like, T. Wallace is fighting with a 116 gigabyte download to play his game. And okay, I guess block doesn't work for that. But then you face the problem of large download size, ridiculous download size. Whereas I remember, like, if you remember back to it, 10 years ago, about 10, 11 years ago, Xbox Live had a 50 megabyte download limit. Files could not exceed 50 megabytes to be on the Xbox Live store. And Castlevania Symphony of the Night was actually one of the first games, was the first game to break that rule, because it was like 250 megabytes. They couldn't compress it anymore. So Xbox, I know at least for the 360, had a lot of their files still compressed. But it seems like Sony just did not care for a lot of their stuff on PSN, because you could download this exact same games, and they would be 3 or 4 gigabytes higher on the PlayStation. Dude, you should have definitely bought a Dreamcast. You take that back to the store, T. Wallace. You correct this mistake right now. Well, Sparrow is what, $30 right now for the trilogy that just came out? I think it's out now. Yeah, I don't blame you too, because I mean, especially when you get games now that come out and you get a price drop like right away, like the newest Tomb Raider that came out on PC got like a $30 price drop 1 month after release, so people spent $60 on the game, and then a month later they dropped the price into $29.99. So understandably, they were upset. But then you have to wonder too, like you get certain games, it's like, okay, well, they're not getting the sales, they're not getting the support numbers, then like, the day one, are they going to meet their sales projections? Does it mean they're not going to have any more of this game come out? So it's kind of, you wonder about that while you wait for discounts, but I've done the same thing too. Where it's like, okay, cool, this game's out, I can live without it for now, I can wait till Steam sale comes up for Christmas time or whatever, or a month or two when it's going to drop down a little more in price. Oh yeah, my Steam backlog is technically, I have about 51 games on Steam, and I've played probably about maybe 60 of those games. And it's either like games that I've had before or I just haven't gotten around to. Like, I have Yakuza 0, which is like everyone keeps telling me to play, but I've never gotten around to it. So that's actually going to be my next series I'm going to be working on when I get done with Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, I plan on finally getting around to playing Yakuza 0. And then, what was it, Kiwami, or whatever it's called, which was the first one redone. I have that on PlayStation 4 as well, so I'll play those two games when I get done with the Metal Gear Solid series. Which, if you haven't been following along, I am currently on number 4. So, doing the mainline series 1 through 5. Yeah, exactly, I snagged that one. So, I've heard that that's a remake of the first game for the PlayStation 2, which I have 100% legally owned on my hard drive, of course, which actually runs quite well, so it'd be kind of interesting to see what improvements they made for it versus an emulator. Roundabout is fun. I think I have Roundabout on Steam. It's like your limousine is constantly spinning, so you have to navigate mazes with it. There's another game I'm failing to remember off the top of my head what it was called. And then it has like FMV scenes all spread throughout, which makes it kind of funny. Because I love FMV games, so... Yeah, I know, Saturn, you like Yakuza 0, and I remember you actually recommending it to me. You're like, yeah, this game's pretty good. So I asked you about it when it came out, and it was like 20 bucks. So I picked it up. I have it installed on my hard drive. I've just never played it. I played it for maybe 2 minutes just to see what the graphical settings were like, and that was it. So I will be getting to those series next. I will be playing that when I get done with Metal Gear Solid 5, so probably January. Really? Oh yeah, exactly. I didn't know he was actually playing it, but yeah, he's probably the exact same game that I'm thinking of. It's a Japanese game. It's not Irritating Maze, but it's kind of like that, where you just have this constantly spinning stick you have to navigate through tighter mazes and things. You gotta wait for it to rotate and squeeze it through. So it's definitely, Roundabout was definitely inspired by it. Well, right now for Metal Gear Solid 4, T. Wallace, I'm on Mission 2, and so basically I'm about to get to the first boss of it, so it's moving along quite well. I mean, the first chapter, the first act is like the longest one in the series. But I should be done, I'm hoping, by December, not too far, with the way that the game's going. Since I play about 2.5 hours a day for Metal Gear Solid, so I will be playing that again tomorrow. Well, I'm sure it's good. I mean, I've heard, like I said, nothing but good things about the game, and I watched Valkyrie, gosh, what's her name? Drawing a blank on her name all of a sudden. Give me a second. It's gonna drive me nuts until I figure it out. Valkyrie Aurora. Swedish lady who makes some pretty good stuff. I saw her through Super Butter Buns. And she did a good video on Yakuza 0, like, where she was just playing through like the first 2 or 3 hours of the game. I went, hey, that looks actually really good. Yeah, Mission 2, actually I had a 25-minute cutscene to start off. It was like literally like, okay, start the mission, and this was like including the briefing too. So like I got done with the first mission, and then had the whole thing like telling about the backstory about you had to go save Naomi, and she sent you proof like, yeah, I was the Shadow Moses. This is really me. So, and then you load out and you land there, and you're like, oh my god, these rebels are about to be murdered. And then you have like another codec conversation for about a good 7 minutes. It's like, oh my god, I just want to play the game. Metal Gear Solid 4 was by far and away, I would actually say it's probably closest to the most cinematic version of the games. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 was very talky. And I think 4 is definitely more of the show you how everything works. It's clear that Kojima wanted to be a video, like a movie director. He just somehow got sidetracked into video games. Ah, Kururin. Probably screwing it up. My pain meds are starting to finally kick in, so thank you, Z Reserve. You nailed it. You remembered, I just didn't quite notice until right now. I saw the message, I was like, okay. And it's like, oh yeah, wait, he's actually telling me the name of the game. Kurin Squash on GameCube. Cool. Thanks for providing that information. Now I remember what it. Now I know what it is. Not remembered, but you told me, so I appreciate it. Yeah, so like Metal Gear Solid 4, I'm right outside where you meet Naomi, which triggers probably a good 20-minute cutscene, and then Laughing Octopus fight, and then you gotta escape the place. Then you meet up with Jack, aka Raiden, and he's no longer a whiny little annoying turd. And then you learn what kind of a badass he is, and then you escape, and then you go into Mission 3, or Act 3, which for me is the worst out of the entire game. You meet up with Eva from Metal Gear Solid 3, except for she's like 100 years old now, still trying to show off her cleavage. Fighting Discount Red 13 here. And then, but the big thing is though, like the lead up to her is that you have to get through this city that's underneath high surveillance, and you can't be spotted, and there's like these constant patrols going everywhere. So it's like, for me, it's like a major pain in the butt. I got time. Okay. I got time to bleed. Kick low, I just need to kill him. Cloud, thank you. Yeah, so Mission 3 is, I'm not looking forward to it, but should probably getting into it tomorrow. So if you're just now joining in, I do stream every day just about, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know where that is, for wherever it is, wherever you are in the world, just type it into Google. It will tell you. I don't remember this at all. I have no memory of this. I have no memory of this event. This guy is just rocking. Okay, I'm dead apparently, and having a seizure. Stop! He's already dead! Well, T. Wallace, to let you know, from what I've seen watching people stream Red Dead Redemption 2, it looks fun, but it seems like you were super micromanaged to death in that game. It's like everything, like you constantly have to stop and eat, change your clothes, pet your horse, take care of your horse. You're constantly doing other things versus just kind of getting up and going. I loved Red Dead Redemption. For me, that is still my kind of go-to game where I just want to play and relax and roam around. I love that game to death. But Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm kind of leery of getting myself. Although already, I have already bought all of my Christmas presents, so to speak. I put down a pre-order at least for a RetroTink 2X, so which is a line doubler for $100. That's on pre-order. Pardon me, should hopefully be shipping around December 7th. And I also bought, again, another pre-order, Double Switch, physical copy for PlayStation 4. And if you know me at all, you know I love FMV games, and that is probably my top two. It alternates between Fox Hunt for PlayStation and Double Switch for the Sega series, either Sega CD or Sega Saturn, of which I own both. So they actually did a limited release for PlayStation 4. It's coming out digitally as well for PlayStation 4 and Steam, so I am looking forward to that, and we'll be streaming it when I get it. Actually, Guys wasn't too bad. I remembered it being really janky, but it actually, I kind of enjoyed it. But let's play some jank in a second. I just want to show you the characters real fast. Let's do Sephiroth. This doesn't get old anytime soon. Doesn't get old at all. Practice. Oh, Yuffie got unlocked. Interesting. Okay. Dan was usually the guy I played as, either Han, not Dan, Han, or Lee Shu-Wen is two characters I usually play as, but let's do Sephiroth. First... Tifa. And if you are a big fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, definitely it's kind of good news that one, they're doing a season 4. It's not going to be until like 2019, late 2019 somewhere. But they're doing a season 4 of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and also next year should be the next season, like season 3 of Final Fantasy VII Machine Abridged. Okay, so yeah, that's not cheap at all. 7-foot sword. Okay, so that's a guard break. Now I'm learning the moves like after I beat the game already. I'm sure with the bad ending too. Yeah. Alright, so let's move on to a different game. Close content. I'm going to need to load. Gosh, what do I have down here? There's something on 3D I was trying to remember. Oh yeah, Sailor Moon. Thought I had it. Might be underneath B's for Shoujo. Nope, it's not. Okay, interesting. But I need to load it this way because I haven't scanned it in because I downloaded it while I was playing. PlayStation. Room. PlayStation. ISOs. Let's see. Dragon Ball Final Bout. That's the bin, so this should be the queue. It is. I imported this back in the day for the PlayStation because I had I still have it. Well, PlayStation's broken, but I need to get a new one someday. It has a serial port on the back side of Pro Action Replay, and it allows you to do two things. One, a couple things. Cheat at games, and also play imports and burned copies. My parents bought one of the first CD burners. It was a 2x speed burner, and yeah, I pirated the hell out of PlayStation games. But I imported this one from Japan because there were no way really to download games back in the day over like a 56K modem. Good God, you'd shoot yourself in the face trying to do that. Take like a week or and a half just to download one game, maybe. So I imported Dragon Ball GT because Dragon Ball Z was something my brother and I had seen. This is years before Toonami picked it up. So we had seen the original Dragon Ball Z. We're like, oh crap, man, there's games in Japan for Dragon Ball. This is the best thing ever. So it cost me like about 75, 80 bucks for this game. And we were all excited, and then we played it, and that excitement just got crushed. And then, like, 2003, I think it was, like, ridiculously late in the PlayStation line. I think PlayStation was dead at that point. They finally released an American version, which is, like, really expensive. Yeah, my friends came over like, oh my god, this is great! So I got this and Dragon Ball Legends, which is another stinker of a game. I liked Ultimate 22. I definitely enjoyed that a lot. Because it reminded me more of the Super Nintendo games, like the fighting games for that. And what was the other game I imported at the time too, shortly after? Vampire Hunter D. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's really weird, because I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. I just knew that there was a Japanese Vampire Hunter D game for PlayStation. And it's like Resident Evil. And that eventually did come out in the States as well, I think. I think it came out in the US, or at least Europe. There's an English version of it. But I have a Japanese copy. Oh, Dragon Ball GT, the red-headed stepchild of the Dragon Ball franchise. So, the original Dragon Ball, because I'm a nerd, anime nerd on top of it, Dragon Ball was 191 Yeah, it was like 191 episodes, I want to say. Let's just Google this before I shoot myself in the foot. Dragon Ball episode. So, yeah, I think there was 191 episodes. No, there was 153 episodes of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, I think, was 193 episodes, and then Dragon Ball GT was just 64. It was not well received. So this game is super clunky. So my brother and I, my friends, we were trying to justify, like, no, maybe the game's better, and no, it's not. Super moves, dash, keep that on, let's go into training. Vegeta, the best character. I think with like Dragon Ball Super, people kind of finally realized that Goku is pretty much like the worst person ever. And Vegeta is actually the real star of the game. So this is your walk speed. Forward and backwards. And if you want to dash, I think it's R1. Yeah, so you gotta hold down R1, and then either forward or backwards. Or up you can fly, or go down. This is not an emulation issue, I'm telling you right now. This is how janky your punch is. You actually have it skipping frames. Just kick. Fireballs that go right through. Forgot how you can manually charge your key, but yeah, this is the whole game. Oh, I missed. Turn around slowly. Yep, so let's go to the menu. I'm gonna change the core. I'm just gonna go to the PCSX. So if this was on the PCSX, this is what it would be like. So this is on the PlayStation Classic, basically. I'm going to show you what it would have looked like instead. Games, emulation. I used to have this set. Oh, that's right. I was thinking, why isn't it jumping straight to the emulation folder I have? I had to delete the configuration files again, because RetroArch has become a lot more stable, but unfortunately, every once in a while a build will come out, because I do the nightly builds, and all of a sudden you'll just get a black screen for all your games. You have to delete the configuration files for it, which will rebuild the next time you launch it. But you need to set up your menu toggle button, and you need to also set up your core stuff again, and also your directories if you want to jump there to save time. But this is what the game would look like if it was released on the PlayStation Classic that's coming out. There's giant-headed Pan. By the way, that quick flash on the screen, it was my window to counter. You literally have 1 frame or 2 frames to counter any special moves. So I can't beat that at all. Yeah, this game is just... it's not good. And I just teleported behind for some reason. In my opinion, the Super Nintendo games were far, far better. Yeah, the computer doesn't want me when any struggles at all. But the Shimbuden series were great. Like 3 was kind of like lackluster on story, but 2 was a lot of fun. You had a story mode that you could go through the game, and you could like change how the story came. So you could either do like a canon run, or you could kind of just like make up your own thing instead. Trying to get into the air to fight her. I don't remember how to charge up. See if I can blow her out of the sky instead. Nope. Yeah, the computer's just like really hates me. Then there's the Tenkaichi games. I have, I think, 1 and 2, but I don't have 3. My video game collection is nowhere near as big as what other people have, but it's gotten to the point where I can't remember what games I have anymore. Thankfully, I have VG Collect, which is a great free site that you can basically sign up for and keep track of your games. Okay, so I have Tenkaichi, which is kind of like a 3D one. And you have Budokai 1 and 2. That's what I have on PlayStation 2 at least. And then, let's see, Super Famicom. What were they called? Yeah, Super Botenden, or Butoden. There we go. That's what it was. Alright, enough of that nonsense. Let's see. There's a game in here that I downloaded, I've heard about, but I've never played, called Verse. And I think in Japan it was called Justice Fight, I want to say. Like I said, I'm not sure on any of this. But I did hear something about this game, like the lead designer copying the model off of his daughter. Like for the art and promotion stuff, and let's just say there's a lot of underboob showing. It's really kind of weird to do that, but yeah. So I think I may have played this on MAME because it was an arcade game. But unfortunately my memory is terrible, so I can't be sure of anything really. Versus. Yeah, her. Okay, and then we got some pimp who's just walked in. Mittens Man. Look out! He's got a pimp hand. So, a bunch of people walk together, a pimp shows up, and the cops are called. Homeless guy flies away to the rooftops. I'm not sure what the story is, but already I'm intrigued. No menus. Okay, let's just do this then for CPU. Let's figure it out. Slim Daddy, Mia, Vikram, Oleg. Let's go Mia. Let's do Disco. That might be more entertaining. Option. Okay, now we get the options. And I still have no idea what my controls are. Okay, let's do it. Really? It makes you solve a puzzle?
Round one. Brawl.
Okay, so I got a dodge button, I'm guessing. That's punch, kick, and some kind of knockdown move. Okay. Yeah, I played this on MAME once. I was kind of exploring games going, what is this thing?
Round two. Brawl.
Okay, so I have like no idea if there's... I'm sure there is like some kind of throw, but... I thought I knew where block was. I was wrong, it doesn't do anything. Game over. 1. Wow. That's bad. No continues, at least for that mode. Let's try this again.
Round one. Brawl.
Okay, so I found the block. That's good. I don't think it's going to really matter, but... Well, I would say probably not, because Fighter's Impact was actually... I thought it was decent. I actually really enjoyed that game, but this is kind of weird controlling. It's a little floaty. Moves don't really come out exactly when you hit the buttons.
Round two.
Yeah, it's like Fighter's Impact. No, not Fighter's Impact. No, I'm thinking Fighter's Destiny, my bad. Yeah, so Fighter's Impact is what... Yeah, exactly. That was a Japanese version that I also played in MAME. Yeah, it took me a second to figure out what you were talking about for a second. I was thinking of a completely different game. So yes, you are definitely right, Executioner. So this is like just a elimination, I guess. Yeah, this is like super jank, which is kind of theme for tonight anyway, so I guess I picked right for games of questionable nature.
Round one. Brawl.
It's got butt rock and everything. Who knows that pimps have these styles? I mean, they gotta keep their pimp hands strong and all, but this guy's actually not too bad. Okay, so Pimp is not too bad. He just needs a cane, a better name like Huggy Bear, and... Let's try Discount Joker. Yeah, this game is like super jank. It's one thing to look at it. It looks very nice, as you said. Like the frame rate is very smooth. It's very pretty. It looks very nice, but like when you play it, it's like a whole nother story. Like, oh, this is not good at all. So it looks nice, but it's like it's just not fun.
Round 2.
You got my money. It sounds like more like I'm whining. Yeah, me. Taxi Cab Man versus... let's try Kara. Why did they think that a sliding puzzle would be entertaining to try to solve while you're waiting for the game to load? It's like they had to have had been like a menu, like a meeting on this. No one said, no, this is... people don't want to solve puzzles. They just want to beat each other's brains in. Can't move. It's like, what happened? Siberia? Alright, enough of this game. It's super jank. Alright, so let's do one more. I said that'd be the last, but changed my mind. All right, so what was it? Yep, Killing Zone. This is the other one you suggested. So this was the, like, the pseudo-sequel to Battle Monsters, right? Yes, this is the game I didn't play earlier. So I started looking at the games like Battle Zone, like, or Battle Monsters. Like, I was thinking, oh man, it's gonna be kind of expensive, but I managed to get like the American version, North American version, for like under $10 complete. I was like, whoa, okay, I guess this didn't do too well. Japanese version was like 20 or so. So, because I mean, way for Saturn games, usually it's like Japanese are cheaper versus American, but oh. Oh, really? The failed M2, but I know that they had like an arcade game or two supposedly using it. Oh wow, this is amazing menus. The world is auto mode. I don't care, I'm not gonna find out. Gush. Sounds like a medical problem. Batch. Sherry. Rem. Yeah, let's go with Discount Frankenstein.
Reach you up!
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is Jank City. So it could be an emulation issue. I really don't know. This is the first time I've played it. I don't know, to be honest, so... Zax, you're gonna have to be my... You'll have to let me know if this is actually an emulation issue or this is just how the game plays and looks. Okay, so I got a sidestep button. Oh, okay, so this is just how the game looks. That's reassuring. Sometimes you gotta wonder, like, especially with games you haven't played before, you know, like, okay, is this being emulated correctly or not? That's sad. That's horrifying. So then my question is, like, how much does this game go for online? You know, is this like a rare game, or is it just like something you can pick up for like maybe $2 and like an apology from the eBay seller? Oh, okay. Probably. Yeah, I would suspect. I mean, sometimes you just never know. Like, sometimes, like, the worst games ever just go for ridiculously high prices because they were, like, very made, like, very small, limited run. Well, you know what? I don't think I'll be adding it to my PlayStation collection anytime soon. I don't really have that big of a PlayStation collection, but I think I can live without this one. Well, it's nice to know these horrible monsters actually have decent names like Carla, Drake. Some of them, at least. Yeah, just lay here for a while, so that's good. Fighting game, just lay on the ground. Take a nap. You're dead anyway, you're dead tired. Oh my god. So I thought Versus was bad. I think this wins. It is like the definition of clunky. Look it up in the dictionary, like clunky gameplay, and this will be in the dictionary. If like, the dictionaries, yeah, dictionaries still exist. It's like, I don't think people use them. Google is now people's dictionary. If you don't know how to spell a word, you type it into Google. I know I do. As bad as this game is and looks, it's not as bad as Dragon Ball GT. I will give it that. Drake's like, I don't know what's going on either, man. I don't know why I'm here. What is with that floor? Oh, look, it's Spinal. I mean, Hal. Oh, it's Yoshimitsu. Okay. I just boot him to victory. Nope. Stab in the eyeball, okay. Is he yelling excellent? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, very, very hard. Next up on the E, True Hollywood Story. Yeah, best you can do is pretty much hit buttons and just flail and hope you do something, really. Oh, I found a throw. Yep, I do have Battle Monsters for the Sega Saturn, the North American version or US version. Picked it up like last year, I want to say. It was literally like under 10 bucks complete. It looks perfect. I think the person never played it. They removed the shrink wrap, and that was it. Oh no, the game ended. Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Yep, I've reached the end of the stream. I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours. Giant Bomb's ranking of fighters to play along with Virtua Fighter 1. Well, Virtua Fighter 1, not a bad game. I'm pretty sure it has not held up throughout the years, but I played in the arcade. I have the Saturn version. Actually, no, I have Virtua Fighter 2. I don't own Virtua Fighter 1 for Saturn. Huh. Should try to correct that one of these days. But yeah, I've reached the end of the stream for today at least. I will be back tomorrow again, my usual standard time of 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be continuing to play Metal Gear Solid 4. So I'm in the about almost 2/5 of the way through that game. Going through all the games 1 through 5, and then after that I do plan on playing the Yakuza series. At least 0 and 1, so I will be doing that. So thank you everybody who came to hang out. Executioner, of course, big thumbs up. Always good to see you. Ronnie, Z-Reserve, T. Wallace, Saturn Memories, of course. You know, he's awesome. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel. But thanks for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow. You can always find me on Twitter at the following, Worsel555. So I usually post up about an hour or two ahead of time if I'm going to be streaming. If not, you know, I usually put up there if something's delayed or something came up. But thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all possibly tomorrow.